Hugo Pepper by Paul Stewart and Chris Riddell. Read by Clive Mantle. Part 1. The Snow Giant's Gift. Once upon a time, there were two reindeer herders called Harvey and Sarvey Runtatuntan. Harvey was tall and bony. Sarvey was short and round. Both of them had beady eyes, snub noses, and long hair, which they tied up and kept hidden beneath their three-pointed reindeer herder hats. They loved each other dearly, and though they were not blessed with children, they were happy and healthy, and counted themselves the luckiest reindeer herders in the whole wide world. They lived in a little cabin deep in the ice forests of the frozen north, where the summers are short and the winters are very, very long. Every summer, Harvey and Sarvey milked their reindeer beneath the midnight sun. Then, as the days grew short and the nights grew long, they would return to their cabin in the ice forests. There, all through the long winter, beneath the ice moon, they made reindeer cheese, the finest in the whole of the frozen north. People came from far and wide just to taste their moose milk mozzarella and elk gorgonzola, while their famous red-nosed brie was once served to no less a person than Queen Rita at a fabulous banquet aboard the SS Euphonia. If they had wanted to, Harvey and Sarvey could have sold every truckle of reindeer cheese they produced, but they didn't. And this is the reason why. Although they were famous cheesemakers, the Runtatuntans were simple reindeer herders at heart and were always careful to observe the ways of the frozen north. One of those ways was to save a single truckle from every batch of cheese and leave it outside the cabin door last thing before going to bed. This was to keep the snow giants who lived in the ice forests happy. Neither Harvey nor Sarvey had ever actually seen a snow giant, but they both knew that they existed because they'd seen their giant footprints in the snow. These footprints were huge, as wide as a milk pail and with 3 long toes splayed out at the front of each massive foot. So, as every reindeer herder knew, it made sense to keep such fearsome creatures happy. Each night the Runtatuntans left the cheese outside, and each morning there would be cheese crumbs on the cabin doorstep, and huge footprints which led off into the forest of ice. Sometimes the snow giants would leave little presents of their own, like sprigs of icicle trees or a frozen fir cone or two. As the wolves howled at the moon and hungry polar bears prowled in the distance, Harvey and Sarvey felt protected by their snow giants. Along with the sprigs and fir cones, the Runtatuntans believed that the snow giants also brought them luck. Then, one dark, snowy night, the snow giants brought Harvey and Sarvey something else. When Sarvey opened the door to their cabin and looked down, expecting to see cheese crumbs and a frozen fir cone or two, she found herself looking into 2 bright, twinkling blue eyes. She gave a high-pitched squeak of surprise, because there on the doorstep in the early light of dawn was a little baby, wrapped up tightly in a blanket. She knelt down, scooped the baby up in her arms, and hugged it tightly. It gurgled contentedly. Then she turned and rushed back inside, calling excitedly to her husband, "Harvey! Harvey, wake up! Look what the snow giants have brought us!" Now, the Runtatuntans might have been simple reindeer herders at heart, but they knew that where there was a baby, there had to be parents somewhere close by. So Harvey put on his snowshoes, packed up a reindeer, and set off to search the ice forests. It was late afternoon, with the low sun casting long shadows, when he stumbled across it. A strange sled, overturned, half-draped in a sheet of silk, and covered in polar bear claw marks. Next to it was all that was left of the baby's parents.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?